You've probably seen the headlines. The federal government is shut down, which means the National Archives in Washington, D.C. is also temporarily closed. As a lot of you know, I make my living by researching on site at the National Archives and getting records for your ancestors there. So, a government shutdown might sound like a big deal, but honestly, it's really not. Hey everyone, it's Brian from CivilWarRecords.com. Let's talk about this government shutdown and what it means for you and what it means for me. What it means for me, well, the reality is I've been through this before, a couple of times actually. Usually a government shutdown, when it happens, is maybe a day, if even that. Occasionally they last longer. We had a shutdown in 2018 that lasted about a month, and you know what? We got through that just fine. And then a couple years later, 2020, who could forget a 2-year shutdown because of COVID? So needless to say, I've had a little bit of practice keeping things running when things are shut down. What this means for you? Well, you can still place orders through the website for Civil War files, for War of 1812 records, federal land records. If you have a soldier from the 1800s, we can probably help you out. If you place an order now, you're just going to be added to a waiting list. Once the National Archives reopen, we will be filling those orders in the order that they are received right now. I've already had a couple new orders come in over the last several days, so the waiting list has begun. If you've been waiting to place any kind of order until things reopen, you might want to consider starting that process sooner rather than later. If you're not sure how to get started, what kind of records are available, maybe this is the first time you're hearing about this at all. My website, civilwarrecords.com, there was a link on there that says how to get started. It'll walk you step by step through the process. You can learn about what kind of records are available, what you can learn from those records, and decide what kind of records you might want to order for your ancestor from the National Archives. Once the government reopens, we will be back on site and we have access to those records. We'll scan them and send them to you so you have the records for your ancestors in your hands. And I'm going to give you a bonus tip here. If you already have a pension index card that looks like this, you're way ahead of the game. That card has everything that we need to get his records from the National Archives. It has his name, has the regiment that he served in, and most importantly, the pension file numbers. The filing system that was used when they filled out these index cards, it's the same filing system they use today. So I would request the pension file number listed on this card, and they would bring me this packet of records. So yes, the National Archives are closed for now, but that doesn't mean that your research has to stop. I'll be here continuing to take orders, answering emails, tracking everything, building the waiting list. And as soon as things reopen in Washington, D.C., our team is going to be back on site in the building, just like always. Our team is on site almost every day at the National Archives, working to get these records for you. We've been through longer shutdowns than this. We've been through tougher situations than this, and we're going to get through this one too. If you've been considering ordering records, I would say go ahead and do it. It's going to preserve your place on the waiting list, and we'll handle the rest from there. We just ask that you give us a little bit of grace while we wait for things to reopen, and then once they do reopen, a little bit of patience while we work through the waiting list. There are some amazing records for your ancestors at the National Archives, so as always, let us help you get your ancestors' records in your hands.